Oh my god. Just when I thought my computer collecting days were over, look what the cat drags in. Yes, it gives me great pleasure to introduce my latest acquisition. This is evidently a Dell Optiplex GX150. And, I got this, surprisingly, at the thrift store, of all places. Yeah, funny story. We went to the thrift store today, and, I saw this thing complete with all the peripherals you see here. There's a monitor, a keyboard, and over there an old microphone. I'll get to them later. But this whole system with that stuff was sitting on the floor in there, and the monitor had a tag on it, a tag taped to it, that said someone's name and that they had already paid for it, and they would pick it up Friday morning. Well, today is Friday, so they had not come to pick it up, apparently, but my primary concern was the tag was on the monitor itself. So I thought, well, maybe they just bought the monitor, maybe the computer is still up for sale. So I asked the lady at the desk, who we go in the thrift store often enough that she recognizes us and everything, and I asked if the computer itself was still for sale, or was that included in the monitor deal that someone had already gotten. So she didn't know, so she called another lady who works at the thrift store, and apparently the guy was supposed to be in. Indeed, he was supposed to pick this up this morning, but he didn't. And because he didn't, the lady at the thrift store said that if I wanted this, I could have it. She originally offered me this whole system for $20, and I said I wasn't interested in any of the other stuff, but what would she want for just the computer? And she said she wouldn't sell just the computer. She wanted the whole thing gone. It was all or nothing. And then she said it was for $15. And I looked around at the computer, and in the end I said, okay, I'll take the whole lot for $15. A computer like this, $15 is really way too much. Back in high school we had a ton of these computers, and if I had wanted to, I probably could have gotten one for free if I asked the right person. But I figure what the heck, at the very least, all the peripherals, which I don't really want, I can maybe perhaps sell on eBay. Well, at least I can sell the monitor, and get at least part of my money back. $15 isn't too much for something like this. Let's go ahead and first of all take a look at the computer. Optiplex GX150. Apparently it has a Pentium 3 processor. By the way, I have not powered this computer on or anything yet. I have no clue if any of this works. The lady at the thrift store said that the person who brought it in, who's apparently the owner of the thrift store, said it worked absolutely perfect. But I don't know for myself. I have not tried this on. I've waited for this video so we could see it together. But originally, apparently, came with Windows XP. But the funny thing is, this computer actually came from a school somewhere near here, Computers for Schools. All the schools in New Brunswick ran these computers from the early to late 2000s. And, well, it says right there, Pentium 3 996, so evidently it's a 1 GHz Pentium 3. And apparently half a gig of RAM and a 15 GB hard drive. That's assuming that this has not been touched or modified in any way. But yeah, this computer came from school, and what I'm thinking might have happened, what my hand's covering right now is a bunch of license keys. There's a license key not only for Windows XP, but there's one for Windows 2000 as well. So what I'm thinking might have happened was this computer originally shipped from the factory with Windows XP, but then when it got to the school, they put Windows 2000 on it. Because down here there's a sticker, and it has a date of manufacture, right there, March the 7th, 2002. And I happen to know personally that in 2002, all the schools in the province were still using Windows 2000. So it would make sense if this shipped with 2000, but then they this shipped with XP, and then they replaced it with Windows 2000. But who knows? What else we got here? We have a floppy disk drive, and what appears to be a CD-RW drive, which is quite nice. If we look under here, yeah, I haven't actually looked at this thing in depth yet. I haven't even been inside it, but we do have a headphone jack and USB ports, it would appear. The reason I got this computer is because this particular generation of Optiplex computers, this generation shipped at first with Pentium 3s, and then later they had Pentium 4 units. These are absolutely beautiful computers. They were extremely high quality. They were composed of very high quality components. They used, chipsets and parts that were known to be very high quality. And Dell did a beautiful job designing these computers, not only the physical design, but the electronic design as well. If I were to make a list of the 10 best computers, 10 best PC computers ever in history, the number 1 would be the Compact Desk Pro EN, and the number 2 would be these Dell Optiplex computers. These are absolutely beautiful computers, built like tanks, and they run like tanks too. It's extremely heavy. I've not been inside this yet, so I don't know if there are any surprises inside. But I'll get it flipped around here. There's another look at that sticker. Serial number there. I haven't even looked up on the internet the original specifications of this thing. Wow! Made in the USA. Really? That surprises me. I would have thought these were made somewhere well outside the USA. Wow, that really surprises me. Well, that's probably half the reason these computers were such high quality. Wow, I would not have expected a computer from 2002 to be made in the USA. That's beautiful. Now, on the back here, we got our power supply. A variety of ports here. We got a parallel port and 2 serial ports. That's pretty nice. We got PS2 ports, Ethernet, 100 megabit I assume, and USB. I assume the USB is 2.0. It might be 1.1 though. I'll hope it's 2.0. Yeah, see, I know the Pentium 4 machines came with 2.0. This is a Pentium 3, so it might be 1.1. I'm not sure. Standard audio ports and a monitor port. And this rather surprised me, and this is actually what sold me on the computer. It has a wireless card. Now, I'll open it up, and another reason these computers were so great, like the Desk Pro EN, they were of a toolless design. Many Dell Optiplex computers used a toolless design, but I'll open up the case here. Again, I've not been inside here before. Okay, we're open. Case just flips up like that. I was trained on these particular computers back in high school when I took the Cisco classes, the computer classes. I was trained using these computers. They were, they even at that time, just a couple of years ago, they weren't modern enough to be completely relevant in what we were taught. But they were new enough that 99% of what we were taught perfectly applied to these computers. Oh my god, I just realized it. This thing has a FireWire card. Oh, that's awesome. I figured I might take the FireWire card out of the Desk Pro and put in this, but I don't need to. That's the first time I've seen this. I didn't even realize it had this FireWire card. And it appears to be the exact same VIA-based FireWire card that I use in the Desk Pro. That's quite cool. Alright, what do we got in here? We got the big shroud covering the heatsink, power supply. Sorry guys, I haven't toyed inside a computer in so long that I've actually forgotten a lot of stuff. This cable would go to the front I/O, CD-ROM drive, floppy drive. That's better. See, I prepared for this video. I'm using the TRV 350 instead of the 340. Oh, we got 2 hard drives. Really? Oh, that's quite cool. So this thing actually has 2 hard drives in it. So it has been upgraded at some point. Cool. That might be a speaker. I think these things have an internal speaker, don't they? I hope so anyway. That'll be an added bonus. I love computers that have, they're more all-in-one. Now, I see what I assume is the chipset there. If I had to guess, it's probably an Intel 815. I would like to hope it's not an 815, because even though the 815 is a beautiful chipset, very stable and reliable, it's got a lot of limitations. It can only have like half a gigabyte of RAM. and that's kind of a bummer. So I hope it's not an 815, but if it is, I guess that's alright. Oh, we have an AGP slot. That's cool. Perhaps I'll someday get a video card for this thing. Actually, I might still have my ATI Rage 128 Pro. If I do, that'll be beautiful. I've heard of these computers developing bad capacitors before. Looking at this computer right now, it doesn't seem, from what I can see so far, the capacitors all seem to look good, so that's good. Let's lift up the shroud here. Unplug the fan connector. There. Fan assembly just pops right out. Quite a bit of dust. What do we have for a chipset? Yes, it's an Intel 82815. Oh well, that's okay. Like I said, the 815 is still a beautiful chipset. Probably one of the best, most stable, reliable chipsets of the late 90s, early 2000s. But I just hate the half-gig RAM limit. There's our heatsink. Oh, there's our RAM. Is it indeed 512 megabytes? Is this DDR? See, I even forget what RAM looks like. Kingston. No, it doesn't appear to be DDR. It's SD RAM. Yes, 512 megabytes, 133 megahertz SD RAM. Oh yeah, I'm still thinking of this thing as a Pentium 4 system because all of these Optiplex machines I've ever seen were Pentium 4 systems. So I got to get used to the fact that this is a Pentium 3, and therefore would more likely have SD RAM than DDR. Here's our heatsink. Let's see. Oops. Should take the RAM out. Take the RAM out, and okay, that flips down. Now what? Oh, okay. That just pops off, and oh, there we go. Not too bad. Is the socket 370? Yes, it is. Yep, 1 gigahertz. 133 megahertz bus. This is the exact same processor that's in the Desk Pro. I don't know if the Intel 815 chipset has the USB right on it, or if the USB is on a separate chip, but if it is indeed controlled by the chipset, then that would mean this does have USB 1.1, which sucks. It's so slow. I don't like it, but oh well, what can you do? Alright, we have quite a bit of dust in here, so what I think I'll do is go outside first before continuing this video and blow this thing out. Alright, I blew this thing out. While there was quite a bit of dust that you know, was just sitting there freely that blew out, a lot of the dust is adhered to the stuff, so I'll have to wipe everything down more in detail later. But I haven't even powered this thing on for the first time yet, so I don't even know it works. But where was I? Oh yeah, all the caps look good, so that's excellent. So let's take out the hard drives and see what they look like. One of the wonderful things I love about this about these particular Dell Optiplex units is their completely toolless design. It's so easy to take drives out and stuff, and of course opening the case is no matter. Just your own two hands is all you need. There we go. Let's see what we got for drives here. This one's kind of stuck out a bit, as you can see. That's weird. Oh, for some reason this drive's using the type of rails that you'd put on a floppy disk. So I bet if I slid that drive in with the floppy disk bay here, it would slide in just perfectly. Dell does provide, which is also awesome. Dell also provides extra hard drive adapters here, so perhaps what I'll do is swap the rails on this drive for those rails, and then it should slide in there perfectly. Unless, no, those should be the right types of rails. I was just thinking unless those are 5 1/4 inch rails, but I see those are different as well. Alright, what do we got for a drive? Obviously a Max Tor, one of the good generation Max Tors. These were rock solid drives. 20 gigabytes! Oh, that's cool. So this evidently is a drive that was installed later in the computer's life. It's a Maxtor Diamond Max VL40, 5400 RPM, 20 gigabyte IDE hard drive. Presumably, not presumably, I was going to say presumably ATA 133, but it might actually be ATA 100. 16 November 2000, so a couple of years older than the computer. But yeah, cool. It's nice that this thing has two hard drives. Now this one, yes, this one feels more correct to take out because it's on the correct rails. But this one, yes, this must be the original drive, a Diamond Max Plus 45, 7200 RPM, 15 gigabyte ATA disk drive. Manufactured 16 February 2001, warranty ends May 2004. So there's that stuff. There's the case inspection date, 27 December 2001. Most of the stuff in here, it seems, is dated either late 2001 or early 2002. So that would make sense since the computer has on the sticker on the outside a date of March 2002. So what I'll do is I'll stick these hard drives back in, and then we'll try out this stuff too, because we'll connect it to the computer and power this computer on for the first time. I've never powered it on since I got it earlier today. Alright, I got everything set up rather haphazardly here. As for the monitor, this is an LG Flattron model L1720B, a 17-inch, I assume, 4:3 aspect ratio LCD monitor. I also have not tried this yet. Yeah, I mean, this is a nice monitor, or it looks nice. Like I said, I'll have to see it in action before I make a full opinion, but it looks nice. And I've never had a flat panel computer monitor before, but I'm not going to keep this thing. I don't want a flat panel monitor. First of all, I've only got room for one monitor, and if I had to choose between my Sony Trinitron and this, I would go with the Trinitron hands down 1,000 times. Also, of course, the reason I would keep the Sony Trinitron is because being a CRT, it's compatible across a range of resolutions, whereas this thing's only going to look nice at its native resolution. You switch it to anything else, it's going to look like crap. You put it in text mode in DOS or whatever, it's going to look like crap. So yeah, I'm not going to keep this. If I had the room, maybe, but I don't, so I'm just going to throw this up on eBay and hopefully sell it, and I'll get at least part of my money back for this whole thing. As for the keyboard, Windows 98 era keyboard, perhaps? Windows 2000 maybe? It's got a standby key, all these media buttons and internet and email buttons, volume buttons. It's a quite full-fledged keyboard. If we look on the back here, what's it say? It's a Mitsumi model KFK EB9HY. Is there a date on here? No, I guess not. But that's alright. And for the mouse, I've just hooked up my own Logitech USB optical mouse. So let's turn the monitor on and see what we get. Okay, we get a pretty blue light. Anything on the display? Oh, yeah, it says power save mode. And now it's gone orange, so the monitor has worked so far. Okay, for the very first time, let's push the power button and see what happens. I heard the hard drive spin up. F2, delete, F10, F2, delete, F2. I don't know what button it is. Auxiliary device failure, that's not a good start. And evidently it's just gonna boot. Okay, we had a device failure, I don't know what that was. Oh, perhaps the mouse, because it's not lit up. But we are booting into Windows XP, that's good. It's nice and quiet, both of them hard drives, even though they're based on ball bearings or whatever, not fluid bearings. They're nice and quiet. Evidently we have a internal speaker, that's nice. We're installing drivers. Logitech USB wheel mouse. So maybe the computer's BIOS just doesn't like USB mice, assuming that error at post was due to the mouse. We don't have mouse action yet. There we go. Yes, we have mouse. Also, I forgot to mention this thing does have a license key on it for Microsoft Office 2003, which is cool, although I already have a copy of 2003. Super anti-spyware. Oh god, what have people installed on this? Well, the wireless card works. I wonder if I can get on the... Oh, that'd be cool! If I could get on the internet with this thing just haphazardly set up as it is. Okay, well, I'll go along here. Hopefully we won't come across anything, any personal information. So this was a school computer, but evidently not on a network, because it didn't ask to log on. It does have a user CFN. What do we got here? Microsoft Windows XP, Service Pack 3, so this computer was in use up until whenever Service Pack 3 came out. I think that was around 2000, I don't even remember, late 2000s anyway. Registered to NFC, I don't know what that is. Gigahertz processor, Pentium 3, half a gig of RAM. I like it, looks good. Looks like we have a running computer here, and it booted up quite quickly for... I'm so used to... See, there were tons of these in middle school and high school, and all of them were Pentium 4. This is the first Pentium 3 one of these I've ever seen, so I keep accidentally thinking this is a Pentium 4. But so far it's performing like a Pentium 4. It's quite snappy. We have updates apparently. Let's see if we can log on the internet. Yes, there's Froggy, named after his truly. Let's connect to Froggy. This is a good running computer. I like it. Of course I'll wipe it off and put a clean installation on it. I might not actually put Windows on this thing. What I've been considering doing, I've always wanted a dedicated Linux box. And the only computer I have which runs Linux without having any problem with the hardware is, I think, the Compact Desk Pro EN. Network key. Oops, we're not even tight. Oh, the keyboard! The keyboard has the problem. So this might be a junk keyboard. Good, I can just throw it away, because I don't want another keyboard. I plugged it in the right hole. The connector looks good. Let me plug it in again. I know you're not supposed to do this with PS2 devices. Oh, hey, we had a startup sequence. The keyboard did have a startup sequence. All the LEDs changed. Okay, let's screw the internet for now, because we can't type. What else we got here? Yeah, we have the whole suite of Microsoft... Oh, it's Microsoft Word XP. Or Microsoft Office XP. Yeah, 2002, version XP. That's funny. I should have known from the icons that it wasn't 2003. The license stuck on the computers for 2003, but all the programs here for Office 2002. Okie dokie then. Huh. Not much else on here. That's super anti-spyware. Wow. Yeah, this must have been a computer, obviously in a school, because it says it was in a school, but in the nether reaches of a school, not a standard lab computer. Cool. Let's restart. And actually I'll shut it down so I can turn the computer back on, see if this keyboard works at all. Monitor works perfectly, so that's nice. I'll throw that up on eBay. Okay, we're shut down, so let's turn back on. It might have been because I was punching keys. That was probably the issue. See, there's the startup sequence. F2. Aha! The keyboard worked. So the keyboard is functional. And now we're going into the BIOS. Let's see. Today, yeah, it's got the date right. I think it's even got the time right. Let's see, 12 plus 8, 8:10? Is it 8:10? Yeah, it's 8 o'clock, it's 8:06. So it's the clock is held up. So what do we got here? Well, it detects a floppy drive. No B floppy. Zip floppy disabled, because it's not a zip floppy compatible drive. Primary drive 0, hard drive, primary drive 1 off? Why? So, are you telling me this thing had a second hard drive put in it and it was never initialized? Really? Detects all the RAM. I'll run, not SpinRite, memtest 86 to test the memory. Video memory. I guess we can't change that. CPU speed, normal, okie doke. Yeah, his keyboard works fine, apparently. Sound. Let's see if there's a BIOS update for this thing. It's a BIOS version A11. Cool. Alright, let's reboot into Windows and let's get on the internet. And we are connected to the internet on Froggy. Good. Let's see what we get here. Internet Explorer, version 7 maybe? 7 or 8? Oh, let's take a look and see if that second hard drive. Ah, now it's performing like a Pentium 3. Now, a Pentium 3 is still a very capable system. It's still is. Okay, apparently, let's see, there's 14 gigs. There's 19 gigs, so yeah, both the hard drives do show up in Windows, but for some reason it's listed in the BIOS as disabled. I've lost a lot of my touch with this computer stuff. Okay, so we have gotten on the internet. Yes, yes, yes. Okay. So we apparently get on the internet. I haven't been on YouTube on a Pentium 3 in a long time, so I want to see right now if YouTube still plays smoothly, at least 480p, that's all I watch anyway, I never watch HD YouTube. I want to see if 480p YouTube still plays smoothly on a Pentium 3. What do we got on the hard drive? 6.5 gigabytes, so not much besides Windows and Microsoft Office. As for the second hard drive, hardly a thing. So why did this thing have a second hard drive installed? Perhaps this was a training computer, like the ones I used in high school. Perhaps this was someone's computer, and they were doing a Cisco class or something. Because we didn't have to learn how to, you know, make it handshake with the school's network. We just had to get Windows installed and stuff. Well, I tried downloading Flash Player, but as soon as I told it to run it, it absolutely bogged down. It might still actually be in the process of downloading Flash. Perhaps the hard drive's so fragmented that because it's fresh in the hard drive right now. And if I open the task manager here, which will take about 5 minutes, it'll probably say CPU usage. No, CPU ain't getting much. Wow. When I had Internet Explorer open, CPU usage was 100% and RAM usage was like 600 megabytes, but wow, that's not a lot at all. Also, I noticed that this is running Avast Antivirus version 7, which is from 2012. So this computer was in use as recently as 2012, which is quite interesting. But yeah, I think that's pretty much all there is to show. I'm going to... This causes a lot of decisions, because this thing is, for all intents and purposes, spec'd exactly the same as the Compact Desk Pro EN, with a sock stuffed in it there. So, I'm not sure what to do, whether to make this computer my primary Pentium 3 computer, or the Desk Pro my primary Pentium 3 computer. Because what I mean by primary is that, if for example I make this my primary computer between this and the Desk Pro, that means I will take my best IDE hard drive, which is the 40 gigabyte hard drive currently in the Desk Pro, and I will put it in this computer, and I'll put my second best hard drive, which is a 20 gigabyte unit, in the Desk Pro. So basically, all my best hardware, if any of it's in the Desk Pro, it's going to be moved to this computer instead. But what I'm thinking to do is what to do with this computer. See, the Desk Pro has always served as my FireWire computer. It takes the video from these camcorders, and then I send the video via network from the computer to my laptop for editing. I think I'll stay that way. I'll keep the Desk Pro my FireWire digital video input thingy, and do something else with this. What to do with this? I don't want to have just another ho-hum Windows computer. I've already had a ton of them. So what I'm thinking of doing is one of two things. Either turn this thing into a Linux box. I think that would be pretty cool, because I've never had a dedicated Linux computer. Or turn this thing into some sort of server. Now, as for the server, I've wanted to make the Compact Presario 5360 a server, but of course I've had trouble doing that because it's based on the absolutely crappiest hardware you could get in 1999. And this thing is, of course, a lot better. I should have no problem installing, say, for example, the newest version of FreeNAS on this. But, However I do it, I think I might turn this thing into a Linux box. I think that would be really, really cool. Does the drive work? Certainly does. So, what I'm going to do for now, assuming the rest of this computer works perfectly, I'm going to switch the DVD RW drive in the compact, in the Desk Pro. I'm going to put that drive in this computer. Like I said, I think I'll consider this my main computer since it's overall more capable than the Desk Pro. So, that's my best optical drive, so I'm going to stick it in the Dell. And then I'll put in the Desk Pro probably my other DVD RW drive, even though it's loud as hell. Or perhaps I'll put this drive, since it's a partially capable drive, CDRW. And I also have a DVD-ROM drive, so perhaps I'll put that in the Desk Pro, but at any rate, I'll put a DVD-RW drive in this computer. I'll have only one hard drive in it. That'll probably be the 40 gigabyte hard drive out of the Desk Pro. Or maybe not, because see, the Desk Pro has the hard drive space is very important to the Desk Pro. So I might actually keep the 40 gigabyte drive and put my best 20 gigabyte drive in this computer. I think I still have my ATI Rage 128 Pro. If I do, I will put that in this, assuming that it is in fact more powerful than the Intel 815. I'll do tests to measure the performance of each video chip. And other than that, I'll probably start experimenting with putting Linux on this thing. That'll be cool. So, I think I'll cut things off here. It looks like we have a functional computer. There you go. The newest addition to the computer fleet. Right when I thought that I was done acquiring computers. So, I look forward to tinkering with this thing. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you guys next time.